Hello superstars around the planet Earth, welcome to another transmission of the Galactic Federation. As is always, we hope this transmission finds you well around the planet Earth, brought to you by the Environmental Defence Network 2000 to 2012. It is of course Project Blue Star. The Earth date is April 3 and we're going to scoot along today. We've got some information to get to you in relation to climate change warnings, and we'll also have a quick insight into melting ice around the planet. Hello to everyone, all cultures, great and small, pink ones, yellow ones, blue ones, all different colours, shapes and sizes from around the planet Earth. This is a campaign, one world, one people, all the way. We've got some very interesting times ahead of us, superstars out there, and we have to collectively join together as one nation, one people, one universal consciousness to get us through some very, very interesting moments in our existence. It is a 2012 countdown, of course, 4 years, 8 months and 19 days to the galactic alignment. Oh, it's getting exciting. Hope you've got your streamers, your party hats, and I hope you're all baking a big chocolate double cream cake or something. Just get it going. It's going to be a magnificent moment for us all. Music brought to you by MILK, more on millicom.com. There is Earth One out there in space. Do not forget, we're campaigning for disclosure. We've got to get the information out there to the wider people, make this a consciousness issue. We need to advance mankind, and the only way to do that is to allow us all to understand the dimensions, the frequencies that exist around us, and the multitude of wonderful sentient civilizations that exist throughout the universe. Today we're broadcasting from Earth Sanctuary World Nature Centre, and a big hello to everybody out there and all our members and subscribers. Thank you very much for your comments over the past couple of weeks. We love hearing your words of wisdom, and it is magnificent to know that there is such great support out there on the planet Earth. Broadcasting from Earth Sanctuary World Nature Centre today. I've got to go and jump on a plane and go and check out Millicom headquarters down there on the Mornington Peninsula. We've had hurricane force winds hitting here in the southern regions of Australia. Thousands and thousands of people in Tasmania as we speak are without power due to the force of these winds, 170 kilometres per hour. It's uprooted trees, it's collapsed roofs, 2 fatalities in Melbourne already, and I've got to go and visit Tommy and Joey and see how much damage has been caused down there in the southern state of Victoria. So without further ado, I'll get onto some climate change warnings and a quick insight into ice melting around the planet. So let's get to it, hey? Okay, climate change warnings and melting ice on this episode. Further news and information and just the headlines, guys. There's a heap more information from around the world on millicom.com, climate change warnings. In Australia, as just mentioned, high winds are expected to close bridges in Tasmania. The Bureau of Meteorology has issued a hurricane warning. A hurricane warning. We're not used to that here in the lower areas of Australia. But this is a scenario and a repercussion of climate change. In Bangladesh, 5 months after Cyclone Sidar's scars, they're still visible in parts of the country where it's wreaked havoc. This is the issue that we're facing, guys, is the cost that it's going to draw from our economy around the world. These issues, these massive environmental changes which are affecting everywhere around the planet, including that of Katrina, Cyclone Sidar in Bangladesh, it costs the economy and the people. You've got to dig your hand deep into your pocket so the economy can stabilise, and this is the issue that we're finding ourselves in as we speak. Hello there. Federation News, there's more news on millicom.com. Just quickly before we go to our news on planetary weather, on ice melting, let's just check out what the sun's doing. As those who've been watching the last couple of weeks, sunspot activity has been pretty high. There is a SOHO image of the sun with the sunspots 988 and 987 still invisible projection to the Earth, and I do believe we are in a solar stream as we speak. Aurora watch, high latitude sky watchers should be alert for auroras on or about April the 5th, 2 days from now. That's when a solar wind stream is due to hit the Earth's magnetic field. A similar encounter on March 27th produced northern lights over the United States as far south as Michigan and Oregon. Now let's go and check out those that insight into melting ice around the planet Earth. What a predicament we find ourselves in, superstars. A year ago, US scientists caused alarm when they predicted the Arctic Ocean could be free of summer ice by 2030, but now researchers say those estimates were far too conservative. A US-based team has told a conference in California that the northern polar waters could be ice-free in the summer of 2013. This year's northern summer melt in the Arctic reduced the ice cover to just over 4 million square kilometres, the smallest ever amount recorded in modern times. It is this kind of data that has led researchers to say previous estimates of when the Arctic waters will be completely free of ice in summer are far too conservative. Professor Wieslow Maslowski from the Naval Postgraduate School in Monterey in California says scientists are now moving that date closer. He has been presenting his work to a meeting of the American Geophysical Union, known as the AGU. We're just moving this date closer and closer to us simply because I believe what is happening is the system in the Arctic Ocean is very complex, and from a mathematical point of view it's non-linear, Professor Maslowski said. So there is a feedback loop that may accelerate this harder in a linear sense, which is simply where you remove ice, you heat, you warm the ocean, which can melt more ice even further. And those kind of feedbacks are actually in place in the Arctic right now, which is possibly causing this accelerated melt. On screen at the moment, you can see by the red line there the old, I was going to say ancient, but it was only taken back in 1979. That's where the Arctic used to be, and it's been withdrawn or drawn back over 20% now of that polar ice cap, which is obviously melted away. And the red line there is your Arctic Sea ice boundary, which was taken in 1979. So amazing amounts of ice being melted from around the planet. We just got to keep an eye on it, guys. There are two major impacts the scientists would like us to focus on here. One impact is that if we remove the sea ice, which is very reflective ice cover in the high northern latitudes, we'll be observing much more solar radiation into the ocean and the feedback from the warmer ocean, he said. The ocean will expand, so we may see some associated increase of sea level due to the warmer ocean in the Arctic. The second important thing to keep in mind is that if we melt all this ice that is currently out there in the Arctic, every summer we will be exporting a lot of fresh water, much more than currently, into the North Atlantic. And this fresh water export from the Arctic may affect the ocean circulation, which in turn can affect regional or global climate. When he accepted his Nobel Peace Prize earlier this week, from this article, former US Vice President and environmental campaigner Al Gore referred to the Professor Maslowski's work. It's a lot of work going on, superstars, and as you can appreciate, we have to keep an eye on the ice melting from around the planet. It is an issue which is a global concern, and we have to be reminded, whether it be with images from the Arctic, from Antarctica, or whether it be from mountain glaciers all around the planet Earth. There's huge amounts of water being dumped into the oceans from the melting of our ice, and it is going to change our weather systems via changing the currents through our ocean. And we may see what the Pentagon and what fantastic superstars like Mr. Lovelock, one of the world's most senior meteorologists, are predicting, seeing Europe resembling Siberia by 2020 or earlier. These are the issues we have to face with our generation, and we have to start altering our lifestyle, altering the way we think, changing our perception, and getting on with the world as we know it. The future is going to be a very, very different place. This has been a transmission for April 3, 2008, and we hope this transmission finds you all very well, and we will be back tomorrow with another transmission with the Federation, and we'll be in Melbourne with Tommy and Joey, seeing how our domes and our climate change villages are looking like and how they're coming along. Anyway, guys, have fun. We'll speak to you very shortly. May the Force be with you.